Okay. Yes, 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 yes. Good evening to all my wonderful Edo people, courageous, progressive Edolites. Uh, I know every one of you would think at a time like this, comrades should be feeling sad, or comrades should be hiding its face. In fact, I've not received calls, the way I've received in the last 20 minutes. Just like when the election result was announced, this court case, it was just too much. uh, it's very obvious that the PDP has won the case in court, only to the fact that the matter was discharged, stating, if I go by the words of the judge, that the APC was not able to prove their case. I don't really understand when the court will say they were not able to prove their case. But while we are waiting for our principal, who everybody knows I support and I'm still supporting, Pastor Saigeze Yamu, to take a decision whether to continue on the suit or not, because at now I cannot tell you whether he will be going to court or not, to appeal the case or not. But the truth be said, there are issues that cause for concern, because the precedent has been set already now that anybody that does not, if you can print anything, formulate any document and submit to court, to INEC, after the election, if there's a case against you, if you already won the election, you can know how to go around to win the case, and so be it. But however, the reason why some of us are out here this afternoon is to also talk to our fans. The world knows that on this social media platform I have over 10,000 followers, and courtesy demands that in a matter like this we should come out to also address and inform and enlighten our fans on issues that have transpired. For me, ordinarily, I believe that at this junction nobody is saying that the courts is unjust. Nobody is saying that the courts is corrupt. Now everybody is saying that the courts have given justice, and I also believe that in coming days, if they decide to go to court, people should not also say that this same judicial system that have given them victory today, and if the result be that there's a reverse in the case, I don't think they should come out to begin to criticize the same court. So, however, we are of the opinion that within the APC political family, I think there need to be a sort of in-house reconciliation, because what I see from the fence as an activist is that the division rocking the APC are some of the reasons why the APC in Edo State is derailing till date. And for me, I'm not a Kakari member of the party, but an ardent supporter of the APC, particularly when it has to do with politicking in Edo State. It is so bad that people are putting personal interests above party interests. I would not want to expatiate more on that, but I believe anybody who has been following the antecedent of politicking in the state would understand these very statements I just made. But however, the business of governance still goes, because for me, where everybody was saying that Obaseki worked and performed miraculously and very well in his first tenure, I am one of those people who are of the school of thought that Obaseki underperformed, owing to the fact that Osiomo power is not giving Edo people power today, owing to the fact that Gelegele Seaport is nowhere to be found, owing to the fact that the health insurance policy has brought as a policy of government, in fact, is as weak as the Zimbabwean dollar. If I would want to go on and on again, we'll talk about the Edo best and what have you. But if the generality of Edo people who have come out in the election to say that we should continue this way that we have started already, I think it falls on us who are not supporters of the government, who believe that the government should do more and can do better and should do better. I believe that it is our duty to continuously criticize the system, because that is the only way democracy can strive in any society, not to talk of ours. And also to those of us who are out there who derive pleasure in insulting people, who derive pleasure in mocking constructive dialogue and discussions, my advice to you is that any man who does not know how to go into a battle to win and lose, and know how to, project himself after winning, and also know how to project himself after losing, cannot be called a leader or a man. For me, I believe I'm a man. I am not one of those people who, because of hunger, will decide to toe the path of what is unconscious, what is not, the consciousness of our rights. I'm not one of those people who will believe that a pot of porridge can change the narrative of our ideological reasoning. So for me, I will keep saying it, come tomorrow, come today, come tomorrow, come next tomorrow, that our governor is underperforming. Only to the fact that since he won election till date, we have not seen any remarkable achievements in the state, whether infrastructure, whether social, whether welfare, or otherwise. So if those people who are of the belief that Obaseki is, a messiah to us, continue preaching that messiah story, we, as people who understand the norms of our society, as people who understand the constitutional wherewithal of the rights and wrongs of our society, we will continue to preach that voice of criticism, because the constitution empowers us to do so. However, even in a case where intimidation, threats, attack have been the subject of approach to those matters, we are still of the opinion that if the government of Edo State knew that they had no case to answer over forgery and perjury that is very obvious to even the blind, I do not see a reason why they will be running from one court to another to stop the court from hearing the matter. But because we know that Nigeria is our country, because we know that Edo State is our state, we will continue to preach that which we believe is the right voice for our society. Even as we are at the court complex, when we got information, even when the judge had not even started reading his judgment, jubilations were already going on in Edo State. As at the time when the judge has not even sat in court, they were already parading information that Obaseki has won the case. That gives room for suspicion. But because some of us are respecters of the rule of law, the court has spoken, so we have no other choice than to abide, not until when those persons in the forefront decide to take the matter up at the level of appeal. Excuse me, please. Let me get some water. So it is only God that can tell the extent to which some of us will say that this court judgment was a black market judgment, because we know that while the pronouncement from the court was not out, jubilations were already going on across the state. For me, I strongly believe that those forces that are fighting the conscious voice in Edo State, even if they continue to hold on to power, the truth of holding on to power must always reveal itself someday, because I believe the people that are also supporting them have expectations. And when that expectation is falling short, they have no other resolute than to look up to the voice of the opposition that we are today in the state, even as a ruling party at the center. So this is to tell you that democracy is thriving, and we should expect more from the governor at a time like this. We should expect more from the governor at a time like this. So in that case, I am telling my supporters not to relent. We should continue advocating, because we know that we are not comfortable with the style of leadership. We should not relent. We should also understand that even if we lose a battle, 4 years is not forever. Even if we win the battle, 4 years is also not forever. So as a society, as a people, as a race, as a movement, we would always do ourselves that favor by continuously believing in what we believe in, and to also ensure that we do not leave our state in the hands of those people who we know are not capable enough to handle it. We should continue playing the role of opposition, the role of criticism, the role of commendation where necessary, to ensure that democracy strives. I am happy today that if anybody would want to talk about one of the ardent critics in Edo State over the Governor Obaseki-led government, my names will be mentioned in the book of history, because I believe that the government has not done enough with resources available to it. So I also want to say that for those of us who are on the ruling class, the buck does not stop at winning a court case. The reason why we are in government is to have differences, come out with solutions, and move on. So now that we have had differences and we have turned to the path of litigation, and the process of litigation to an extent have taken a shape, as we are moving on, let us see more of Ekenwa Road being developed. Let us see more of Airport Road. Let us see more of Siloko Road. Let us see more of 5-star Central Hospital. Let us see more of Edo University Yamo, or Ozare as they have changed the name to be. This is why we are in the process called democracy and governance. So for me, I am not against the fact that the government does not have a right to celebrate, but while they are celebrating, they should also ensure that the overall interest of Edo people, because while we are at the court, while we were working under the court, I also heard some supporters of the governor say, all this one, they're not going to enter Edo again. Are you going to pursue me from my state? Or are you going to intimidate me because the governor is your friend? I tell you no. Because as you also know the governor, so we also know the president. So the issue of intimidation should be jettisoned. Let us harmonize. And in the case where the governor fails, you people should also be on the front line to tell the governor that he has failed. And in the case where he does well, we also commend him, as the case may be. But for now, we believe that with this victory that the governor has gotten, Edo State should flourish with development. Because we all know that within the last 5 months, there have been no single major landslide achievement in the infrastructural or economic growth of Edo State. Rather, we have had tough times. We have had tedious times, ranging from the issue of criminality, cultism, lack of electricity, lack of social welfare. These have always been the problems. So for those of us who are progressives, for those of us who are courageous Edolites, for those of us who believe that Edo must move forward, I want to strongly say that at a time like this, if you and the opposition do not look as if you have been, extinct or removed from the book of history. No, as an opposition, you still have very many things to do for your people. For the fact that you are not in government even gives you more room to sell your policies, to sell your ideals, and to project yourself better for an election year forward. So, as I rightly said, I cannot stand there to tell you that the matter will be appealed because I have not consulted from the he's and the caves. But I can rightly tell you here that PDP and Obaseki won the case today because that is the information available to me at this moment. And as you all know, I also made a point here today that even before the judgment came out from the judge's mouth, people in Benin already knew that the matter would be in Obaseki's favor. They were already celebrating the judgment as at the time. So once again, I remain no other person than Comrade I Bogu Emmanuel. Believe you me, I had critics to the style of policy of Obaseki government, and I remain so because my belief about the government is not what I expect it to be. Hold on, please. Hello? Yes? Good, I'm on a live video. Can I call you back? I'm on a live video. Let me call you back. PDP won. I'm on a live video. Let me call you back. So, that is it. You can see calls are coming in from far and wide. So, allow some of us to take